Hey, this is Gina.
Hello, this is Ashley.
Hey, it's Siobhan.
And I'm Cheyenne.
And you're watching
Speak It Sis.
Hello, everybody.
Happy Saturday.
Hello, how is everybody doing?
Woo, good gracious. Okay, first before we begin, I'm sorry for pranking y'all.
You so silly.
You a mess.
You did catch me off guard for a minute, and then I thought about it. And when you took a minute to respond, I was like, dang, I know exactly what this was, too. But I'd already fell for it.
I had already fallen for it before I caught on.
Look. It's always every year around that time. I'm serious. I feel it. So I understand. Basically, this is what I did, you all. For starters, I pranked my peoples because I was so hurt that one of my closest and dearest people in my life was murdered. And no, it wasn't like people that, let me say this. It was someone, of course, that everybody knows. And if you don't know, I'm gonna need for you to get to know. Basically, it starts with it's Jesus. And I just, and I know I shouldn't mock his death, but really sometimes I do be feeling like, dang, this was not, of course, as far as the time frame, because we don't know. It wasn't saying like March, this month of March, or this particular day, or this month of April on this particular day. So we don't know specifically the day, but to have like this celebration or to have like this remembrance is still, it makes me feel, sad. Like this dang on Judas really done did this, but basically it needed to happen, because if he didn't come down here and die, we would have not been saved. All of us would have been just straight up dead. Yeah. So anywho, hi everybody. Welcome to another episode of Speak It Sis Live. What's going on with y'all? Everybody doing good?
I finally came off my diet this week, and I've been able to eat whatever I want, so it's been great.
You so silly. Talking about you've been able to eat whatever you want. Bless your heart.
I haven't been eating everything. I've still been behaving, but it's nice to not be limited anymore.
Hey, look, ain't nothing wrong with that.
And I did it for 90 days. I'm down 16 pounds.
You got more good.
Yay!
You're gonna have to teach us.
Oh, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that hard. The first week and a half, that was the hardest part. Once you get past that first week and a half, it's easy.
Okay. All right. Lynn, you doing all right?
I'm doing great. Today I'm going to the club, y'all. I did that.
You went where?
To the club.
You went to the club?
And I'm going to go out and support her.
Lord, Lynn be like, I just need to take it up. Okay, which I understand. You need a mommy night out. Amen.
Yep.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
All right.
Yeah. What's been up with you, Cheyenne?
Well, I just been, living my life. Ain't nothing really exciting happening.
Okay.
No, ain't nothing really exciting happening. I've just been living, trying to keep myself together.
One more day. We got less than a day, Cheyenne. Less than a day.
Look.
He'll be back.
Feeling it, y'all.
He'll be back tomorrow.
He will. I understand how Mary and Martha felt, for real. Okay. So, I wanted to really dive in. Tonight, We're actually going to be talking about more than about, about the Lord, but it's gonna, I guess you could say it kind of will tie in together, basically on how my thought process came about with this. But we're going to dive into our topic, which is going to be called, down at the bottom, Cravings, Curves, and the Cross. A real talk resurrection. So it's going to be more about curves and confidence. We're going to be diving into like cravings for love, for intimacy, for healing, and how it all like connects to the most powerful love story ever told, which is the love of Jesus and how he loved us. So this is about owning our womanhood, being real about desire, and letting God meet us where we are, not where people expect us to be. So first part I wanted to kind of dive into, for those who did not watch the last episode, I did bring this up to say that we were going to have a segment on it, or a series. Not a series, let's just have like a one plethora kind of thing. So we read this book. Child, it's called Curvy Girl Summer by Danielle Allen. And I'm not going to spoil it, but I really feel like this book kind of, it resonated with me a lot, especially with worrying about what other people thought about me. And as far as, body positivity, because Aaliyah, who was the main character of the story, she was a thickums, she was cute thick, but she didn't let her body size or her weight stop her from achieving her goals. And not more so about her romantic side, but she definitely had a career, a wonderful career, wonderful loving friends. Despite her, issues with her family, her parents and her grandmother loved her dearly, and they supported her in her dreams and what she wanted to do. And her confidence was was there.
Yes, Lord.
Okay.
Very much so.
Yes. So, and then I'm not gonna literally, like I said, I'm not gonna spoil it. But Ahmad is this bartender that, was helping her out. And look at Siobhan done turned her head and cocked it because she felt the Ahmad.
Girl, that book was good. I better read it. And y'all better read it before June.
Yes. Yes.
Read it before June, because
Great book.
there's a part 2.
Yes. There is the part 2 coming. Yes. So be aware of that. Danielle Allen, girl.
I can't wait for that one.
Okay, you awesome sauce. But
she did it.
Yeah, so in that essence, like, I know we're not gonna fully talk about the book, but do you feel like Aaliyah was like trying to hide her feelings in the very beginning when he gave her, well, it's a part where he gives her was it the AirPods?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like she was trying to hide her feelings or right there, or was it earlier on?
I think she was always trying to hide or fight her feelings from the beginning, because initially she thought he was married.
Yeah.
And she was having these feelings, and she was like, I can't go there because he's married.
Right.
Because he was walking around with a ring on his finger.
Yep. Absolutely.
And so she was fight. I think she fought it. Maybe not the first meeting. Like, there was an attraction the first meeting, but maybe not the first. But as she was going on these dates and she was talking to him and getting to know him, and she was like, "Oh shoot, wait a minute,
it was getting real.
I can't feel this way. He married. I shouldn't feel these thoughts. This is bad."
Yep, it was getting real. It was getting real in these streets, child. So, look, do you, in terms of like your dating life, right?
Mhm.
For all of us. Do you feel seen by the people you date or just desired? Because I'm gonna say this
So,
in the book, I feel like Ahmad,
Saw her.
yeah, like it wasn't just a desire. He
It
recognized who she was.
it was that instant. I guess because their first meeting was face to face
Yeah,
versus her talking to them. So they got to know each other on that's an acquaintance level. Like, for example, I just used Cheyenne, me and you when we met.
Mhm.
There was no formal, oh, you need to get to know this person because we weren't roommates yet.
Right.
And it was just, I saw you in the lounge and was like, hey, what you doing?
Mm-hmm.
And we
Mm-hmm.
got to know each other that way. So now we've been friends for so long. There's certain things I just pick up on instantly. I already know, no, don't do that. She's not gonna like that.
Yeah.
And
You know,
that's how it went with them. They had those. I think those feelings were always there from the beginning, but they got to know each other at that base level
yeah.
with no expectations, because neither
Yeah.
one was expecting anything from the other.
Absolutely.
exactly. Exactly. There was no, you didn't go in there with no expectations or anything. They were just talking.
Mm-hmm.
They were just really, really cool. With how a relationship should start, that's how they start.
Mm-hmm.
And it just grew. It just grew.
Yep. Yep. So there's a scripture because I gotta tie the Lord into this. It is 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. And it says, man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. So if you're letting the Lord lead you and guide you into the direction that you need to go, you're not going to really solely focus on the outside. Now, the outside definitely grabs you, it attracts you, but I feel like the heart keeps you. It's
Amen.
like,
That's what happened.
yes, Lord. So y'all go check the book out. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Now,
Because they heart
let-
connecting towards like somewhere in the middle, they start connecting differently.
Mhm. Absolutely. So I have another part to it. I want to kind of dive into this here. So, this segment is gonna get a little.
Uh-oh.
It's nothing bad, but I wanted to kind of dive into this. The mini subject is called Soul Ties, Spicy Nights, and Sacred Cravings. Oh. You remember that? My favorite, I think her name was Lorraine from Mad TV. And she used to make this good. She go, oh, she used to do that all the time. That is my girl. Okay. I love her dearly. But let's talk about sex. Not just the act, but the energy, the emotions, the aftermath, right? So, what's the difference between sex that feeds your ego versus sex that feeds your soul? Ooh, Lord. Every time I ask this question, I feel y'all.
Well, for me, due to the fact I just can't just be out here being a hoe no more. And just
Lord.
feeding my flesh, because that's what that is. You get an urge and you're like, I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And typically, you'll just allow your body to you'll meet somebody who actually stimulates you in that way, in that sexual way, that make your body, tingle down there. And you'll do it. You'll actually, do the act. You'll do what you do, whatever it is you be doing.
Okay.
Now, when you're actually feeding the soul, your body feels it and stuff like that, but it gets more deeper. If you get what I'm saying, it's like it's way more deeper.
I feel like just the act, like you said, when it's just that physical urge, you can get up and walk away and not talk to that person until you're ready to do it again. Versus when you are sharing that into that intimacy with somebody and they feed just more than just the physical, you want to talk. Now I want to call you and I want to see what you're doing. I want to sometimes, in a sense, become clingy to them. Like you cling to them because they're feeding a part of your soul or your mind or whatever it is that you need. Versus the physical, okay, I'm done now and I'll see y'all later. Or I see you when I see you. And then the physical one that you're connected to this person in a way deeper level. And they feed a craving to they feed the craving that's way deeper than just the physical part.
So do y'all feel like feeding the ego is kind of like wham bam thank you ma'am, and then feeding the soul is kind of more deeply, richly connected, where I am grasping onto your energy and to, and it's more passionate, if you will, with the soul feeding your soul with the sex. Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah, I can get that for sure. Okay. So is it possible to be sensual without being sexual?
I think so. Because as a female, we are that.
Okay.
We're very sensual people. We don't necessarily have to be sexual in order to be sensual. You could just sensual to me is just giving somebody a massage. I don't gotta have sex with you in order to give you a massage, to give you the best massage of your life.
Okay.
I don't have to be all of that.
Okay. Because, there's a show that I have been binge watched, and I have immensely fell in love with a few of the the people on there. It's a reality show called Love on the Spectrum. And there's a couple there. And first of all, I can't stand her. I don't care if I can't stand her. But her name is Danny. I'll say this. I admire her hustle, her drive, and her ambition. But when it comes to relationships and knowing the difference and really knowing what a deep connection means, I don't think that she gets that or grasps that. So she was dating this one guy for a year and they never had sex because from his background, he said he wants to wait before marriage. And it was solely because of his spiritual beliefs, which is wonderful. That is a wonderful thing. I'm wow. Very shocking that happens, but it's wonderful. And she wasn't having that. So she would have conversations with her aunt and uncle, and she keeps talking about how the intimacy is lacking. And I'm like, but where? Because he's really trying to, get in depth with her and understand who she is. And all you can think about is when you gonna get into bed with him. Like literally and I'm gonna really spoiler alert, literally they were celebrating their 1-year anniversary on the show. And she made this automation because that's her business. She made an automation, and it was a cute little, in the beginning, everything was cute and how the story was told of how they met and things. And all of a sudden, towards the end, you see the little characters jumping in the bed like the Sims do. And then it said happy anniversary, something in the lines of, it's been a year. When are we going to do it?
Oh, you ruined it.
Yeah. So that shows to me, like, how dare you?
I would have broke up with her. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, yeah, because and then he talked to his dad. It made him feel very, very uncomfortable. Long story short, they did have a conversation, and I'm spoiling it. They ended.
Good. Because she didn't deserve him.
No, because you literally keep pushing that onto somebody and not realizing that intimacy has nothing to do with sex. I'll say that's like this much, because I feel like intimacy is, I'll use me as an example. Intimacy is, I'm gonna use this example for sure. Saying something that you're passionate about and having that significant other feed into it. I wanted the Tupac book, which I could have bought my dang own self. I could have. For years, I could have bought it myself. And Big Head literally surprised me with that book.
I remember that day.
Yeah, I was just, flooding floods. Flooding floods, okay? But I just want people out there to understand that intimacy, you can push sex to the side. You don't necessarily have to have sex to be intimate with someone.
No, the intimacy could just be simply listening.
Yes.
Because in my last relationship, I had things that I would say things in passing, completely forgot I said it.
Mm-hmm.
Completely forgot that we even had the conversation. And what was it? It was saying, "Oh, I had a foot spa. Those little foot spas,
mm-hmm.
and I broke it."
Mm.
And I said it in passing. Like I wasn't asking for one. I was like, "Oh, dang, I gotta go buy another one." Because like you, I could have bought it myself. But I forgot about it. I forgot that I even mentioned it. Guess what I got for Christmas? Yeah.
Yeah.
See? Now for me, same as the same. For me, it's just sharing my ideas and you actually listening and actually trying to contribute to my ideas. Letting me know, if you try to go buy that house, you gotta have this, and that in order for you to actually get it. Things like that. Give me some input. That's how I know you're actually listening and truly trying to know me. Not just trying to get my pamphlet.
Mm-hmm.
You're not showing bare bones interest in somebody. You just show me that you care about what I think about. You care about what I want. You care about me.
Right.
Exactly.
And not just what I can give you.
I agree. So, girl. So, Stephanie had put a comment and she said, "I've had sex that lacked any intimacy whatsoever. And I've had amazing intimacy without there being any sex involved." So it's face value. It's true. You do not have to have sex to be intimate with someone. Intimacy. That's just what it is. You do not have to have physical connections in order to be intimate with somebody. Looking into somebody's eyes, because we know we've been told that the windows to the soul are the eyes, you can tell and you can really feel someone's connection through that. Or watching them enjoying something that they're passionate about, you're intimate with that. So people, you ain't got to do the oochie cooch to be all connected with somebody. Doggone it. So, you guys, before we continue, I do have somebody here for a special gift.
Ooh.
Because we love her and she's coming from long distance. So, everybody, before I put her on, are you ready? Okay, I think she's ready. Here we go. Everybody say hey to Mom.
Hi, Mama.
Hey, y'all. Hey, Mama.
What's up? I cannot.
I
had to walk
you.
out.
You had to walk out. I'm sorry.
Huh? No, I wasn't eating. I had already ate.
Oh, you just sitting there minding your business? Okay. All right, mama. Look at your hair. All cute with that. Go ahead. Let your soul go. Hold it in.
Yeah, get my
All right.
Frederick Douglass on.
Yes.
Mm, mm, mm.
So I added Momo into the mix because I wanted to ask all of y'all a question here. What is something that you've been taught about sex that you now question as an adult? Like, wait a minute, what is this and why and how? Like, is there something that you've been taught from friends, from family, anybody that you now question as an adult?
No.
You
Shocking
ain't
that
got
I can say that. No, because I'm, but for me, what people
nothing?
would tell, they were always, because my people churchy for the most part. So at least while I was growing up, they was more churchy than they are now. And they didn't really talk about it. I
Right.
was more so like finding books here and there and talking to, your classmates about it and your cousins and stuff like that. And I hear what they say. Now, the only thing they lied about was when they said it was going to feel good first time.
Mm,
It felt horrible. But then again, I think that's more on the. He saw me wanting me, and me was I'm young, so I didn't really know much about that information. So
Mhm.
I'm young. I'm only 16. Don't really know that much. Not for real.
right.
Yeah, I
So
think yeah, for me it was like I guess how necessary it was when you are in a relationship with somebody. Like we just talked about, you don't have to have sex to be intimate with someone.
Mm-hmm.
But all I heard, growing up was, "Oh, that's just natural. That's just what it leads to." Not necessarily.
So you're saying that you were taught that this is just something that you do? Is that what you
Hmm.
mean?
Not
Like,
from like my mom. Like my mom didn't say that to me, but like your peers and things like that. This is just a natural progression. That's just gonna happen. It's gonna do this, that, and the third. Like that. That wasn't my experience.
okay.
So I'm
Okay.
like, why would you say that?
Okay. Mama, what about you, ma'ams?
I was over here trying to rack my brain. I didn't really have anything. I was pretty well like educated. I didn't get anything pushed on me, so I I have no answer for this question. I have nothing.
mm, I would say my mom, if I asked her something, and if she felt like I was mature enough to receive it, she would give me the answer that I'm looking for, or she would just be vocal and just be saying it. I wouldn't have to ask her. Um, but I feel like also too, because sometimes in that generation things are very kept private and quiet because they don't want people who are children, of course, to be exposed to a lot of these shenanigans, which is great. I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think it's a great thing, because I feel like if children are exposed to it at a young age, it's a lot of problems that come about, a lot of trauma that comes about as well. So I don't have any things that I question. Maybe it's some men, which we'll probably have a segment later, which I'll probably ask some of the men to join. That because that's a really good question, because maybe they have been taught something that they question. Like, I never understood what's that song, IMX song, child, what is it, My Very First Time or something like that. Why did he tell the dude to strap twice? I don't understand.
Yeah, why y'all
That
putting
that was
lies in
that one was
songs?
stupid. That one was that's stupid.
Yeah, never understood it. I make sure you
I,
strap twice, dog. And
I
I'm
think
really,
I
you know
think they
what?
used I think they really used to tell people that until they realized when you do twice, you're gonna break it.
yeah, I feel like that was some 90s mumbo jumbo.
Hmm.
Oh, you said 90s mumble jumble.
I was like, y'all people are ridiculous.
Okay, all right, okay. So Here's another question. If you've waited, what do you want your first time to feel like beyond just the physical? Like for me, I everybody know I wish I did not. I ugh, I I wish that I grew up and did not do. Because yeah, that's my answer. Because I wanted to feel meaningful. I wanted to be thoughtful. I wanted it to be someone that God knew this is who I want you to procreate with. I don't want just to be doing it just to be doing it. Like, oh, I'm bored. Let me go and try this out. Or I got this urge. Let me go ahead and just mess around with this guy here and there. I don't want to do that no more. I'm too old for that. And I'm not talking about an age, but mentally, I'm too old for that.
Mm.
So yeah, what about y'all? If you waited, what do you want your first time to feel like, or what did you want your first time to feel like beyond the physical?
Beyond the physical, I wanted my first time to be like how it was shocking with the second time. Not the second time, but when I actually was with the Superman. Although our relationship didn't work and it was very, very toxic, that that was beyond the physical. Like, yeah, we was attracted to each other physically and stuff like that, but when we actually did it, I felt him. I didn't. It wasn't just like just going in and out and all that stuff. Yeah, you felt that sensation, but I felt his spirit. I actually felt his soul. Like I felt us connected.
Hmm.
If you
Okay.
get what I'm saying, I just felt
Mm-hmm.
us connect. I didn't feel like he was using me just to get a nut off.
Okay.
I
What
actually
about
felt
y'all?
him actually trying to feel what I like. Oh, she don't
Mm-hmm.
like that, so I'm not gonna do that.
Mm.
While we're getting each other there.
Okay. What about y'all? Anybody else?
Um, I think I agree with Ashley. You want to feel that deep soul connection with someone, and not just the okay, we're doing this just to scratch this itch, and then that's it. I want to feel like I'm getting to know you on a deeper level every time.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, Monique.
Uh, I didn't. I don't think I had a what I wanted it to be. I was very strategic in everything I did, though. I was like, all right, it's gonna be with a person. Um, I waited past my teen years. I was older. Um, I was with the person well over a year, and it was like when we made that connection, or okay, Philip was ready. Okay, now all right, we're good. I mean, couldn't do much else other than that, but everything else was on the
Mm-hmm.
checkbox. It was like, all right, cool, we good. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have any type of trauma from this. So,
Hey, I mean, because that means that mama was mentally ready for it.
yep.
She mentally, quite frankly, probably when you, mama, was you even thinking about it back in high school? Like,
No, because I really wasn't looking at nobody. So
so that's true, y'all. She would.
I really wasn't. I don't
She
know
ain't
what
the
I was
girl.
doing half the days. I was there.
Yep, floating.
Yeah. I was just like, all right, it's time to go. All right, see y'all tomorrow, maybe.
Yep, yep.
But
It was.
yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
really wasn't thinking about it in high school. I was chilling, for
Mm-hmm.
real,
Mm-hmm.
chilling, cracking jokes, and other than that. But yeah, I was very strategic in everything like that. I was like, I don't have an exact date or age or when any of this has happened, but this is my this is what I want. This is what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
These are my non-negotiables.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's beautiful.
mm,
Uh, so, got another question. Give me a non-sexual thing that turns you on. One at a time. Go, Siobhan. Bing.
Emotional intelligence.
Okay. Lynn, go. Bing.
It's how they look at me.
Okay. Bobo, go. Bing.
um, doing things without being asked.
Hmm.
Okay. Laughter. That's mine. You
Mm.
got to be a goofball.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have a personality and a
You
sense
gotta
of
have a
humor.
sense of humor. Yeah.
Oh, sidebar. Let me tell you what I told Big because this was funny.
Oh,
Okay. No, because look, I was talking to this one guy. I don't even remember his name, Lord Jesus. That's how you know I ain't really care. But he was really, really into this show, right? And he constantly talked about it. But he said, literally, he was sitting next to me and he was like telling me the whole story of the entire show. And all of a sudden, I dozed off. And when I woke up, he was still talking about the show. Child,
mm,
I didn't look, ma'am. I did not care. I did not want to be a part of that. Okay. I did not want to be a part of that. That was just no. So thank God for Jesus. Because so if you boring, you ain't for me.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
That
I
part.
need laughter is for me. So
I need mental stimulation.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Also, I don't want to have somebody that feel like they super duper smarter than me.
No.
I hate that.
Yeah.
Oh, I really hate that.
I mean, I'm fine with it as long as you're humble.
That's what I mean. Because if you
Okay,
constantly are, basically what I'm saying is, if you are,
condescending.
yeah, and if you put me on like this, well, because, well, Cheyenne, you should know, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay.
Are
Should
you
I
telling
though?
me how to live my
Should
life?
I?
Right. Like, I don't want you to have a controlling factor because you may know something more than I do. Basically, I want it to be like ping pong. You give something, I give something. I'm teaching you something, you teaching me something. I don't want to be down here and you're up here. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Feed into me like I feed into you. Doggone it. Okay, I'm sorry. So, all right, but here's the scripture though. It's First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19 and 20. And it says, your body is a temple. You were bought at a price. But temples can still feel desire. God gave that too. So don't be just doing it just because let me just go on and try him out because I'm bored. Let
Don't
me just
do it. You're gonna hurt your own feelings. You're gonna be mad. Probably ain't gonna feel nothing. They probably be good in bed and you just don't have that
mm.
there with them.
Or they could be good in bed and they whoop your ass.
That part.
That too.
That
So stop.
no
Don't do that.
settling just because you got an itch. I'm sorry. There are toys.
Mm-hmm.
Too many.
The shenanigans. Okay. Now going into the deep end, because first of all, I did not say this in the beginning, but happy resurrection. Well, he ain't resurrected yet. He's still in the tomb.
One
Right
more
now.
day. Got till tomorrow. He'll be back tomorrow.
That's it. But I wanted to add this to it. I found this. I don't know who said it, but it says we chase love, validation, connection, and it's all rooted in our desire to be fully known and fully loved. That's exactly what Jesus did on the cross. Mm. He chose us knowing our shame, our secrets, and our story. So his resurrection means we don't have to live in cycles anymore. Not the McReynolds. Sorry. Had a moment. Sorry, y'all. But whatever part of you feels dead, like your hope, confidence, trust, he can resurrect that. So don't be letting just sex keep you bound, or don't be letting just people keep you bound or keep your confidence away. I'm gonna tell you right now, Momo got the best confidence ever.
Cause some of these people out here is dusty. And
See?
if you want to get dusty,
That was the first word I knew she was gonna say. Dusty. I knew it. I knew
some
it.
of these people,
Oh,
some of these people, they dust. You want to be with a dust fillet? You
I'm
want to be
telling
You want to be dusty by association?
Look,
God,
I'm telling you,
I'm
Momo.
flabbergasted.
I'm telling y'all,
Ashy
Momo.
elbows.
My ashy elbows.
And she would tell you about yourself.
As
That's
you
what
should. As you should. As you supposed to.
Yes. Yes.
My flabbers are gasted.
Your flappers are gasted.
They is. It be some real
Y'all. So
fishy.
I had a conversation with someone, and I know this is so off the topic, but we'll close the topic later. But I had a conversation with someone. Well, it's Elder Brown. Shout out to Elder Brown. I don't know if he's gonna be available to come on here later, but shout out to Elder Brown. I had a question, and I think I asked all of y'all. I'm not sure, but I said if you found out that your significant other was related to you, meaning distant cousins, would you still date them?
No.
Dang, Siobhan, quick.
It's your cousin. It's your cousin.
It's your cousin.
Distant. Like
It don't matter if it's near or
You my
far.
cousin.
You my cousin.
We sure did.
I'm from
Seven.
family for now.
Oh,
That's exactly
7. It can be 7. It can be 11. You my cousin.
I'm going to
7,
see you
8.
as family. Nope, I'm going to see you as family.
We are a family like a giant tree. I don't care about none of that.
I don't like
If
twisting
you gonna go
branches.
to the reunion, no.
Okay. Y'all not understanding.
Incest,
It's
unacceptable.
9th cousin.
I don't care.
It doesn't matter. The fact
If they
that
still use some numbers and math,
don't matter.
nice
The word
removed is
cousin.
still a number. It's still a number in the family tree.
But still, to be honest, we are related then.
But I don't want to trace it back.
Like
Be able
if
to
it's
find
a
you on-
slight,
I shouldn't be able to find you on Ancestry. Let's just put it that way.
okay, so if they
If
were
it's gonna,
okay,
if it's gonna
wait.
take 2 weeks to track, no.
Okay, so if it was they were married into the family, there's no blood that's connected, but it still shows them as being 9th or 10th cousin. But there's no blood.
That's different then. A blood test would
Very
be
different.
would be had. Blood test would be ran.
That don't
And if it came back positive, just go ahead and block me, player. Just we gonna act like ain't nothing happened.
so what's the percentage? Like what, 5%? No. 0.5%? No.
I don't want to be related at all.
But that's what I'm saying. How? Okay. Y'all making it seem like marriage. Okay, let's stick with the marriage.
We got the same nose.
Okay, what if y'all don't have the same nose?
Your mama got my nose.
What if they are not blood? What if they was adopted?
I don't know
The-
about that one because then it was
mm,
raised
yeah, that's like
morally.
how would
I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Morally,
it like
that's
it's
still
not
wrong.
wrong, but morally, like morally, if you accepted them as family, but if you didn't accept them as family, you was like, oh, they cute, and you wasn't around to raise them, then I guess that's fine. But
Not the
morally,
cousin,
it's
not the
something about
cousin you
it.
saw every year at the family reunion that was running
Yes,
around. No, no, we're not doing that.
yeah.
I don't care if we're only 2% related. Nope.
So if you, and what if they don't never come to the family reunion?
I guess go for it.
Yeah, I'm like, I guess
Because how would you know? They don't come to the. They don't like the family. They ain't coming.
You
They
said we
never
find
came
out.
to the
So
family
if we
reunion.
found out, that's a lot. That's a lot. Is that
Yeah,
a song?
that's go to Maury. What I look like?
You gotta think
Go
about it.
for it.
Cause I'm giving a whole scenario. I know I'm going a little bit far fetched. I understand, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's say, for instance, like I said, they were adopted, and they were adopted into somebody else's family. But then years later, you married with kids, and you find out they like your 12th cousin. What you gonna do? Y'all really got stuck with that question, and it's the funniest thing. I wish
I'm
I could
out.
just like put screens of like everybody's face.
I'm out. I'll see you later, player.
You gonna leave your kids is fine. You living your best life with your husband.
Just don't tell him. What happened to Daddy? Daddy went to war, baby.
No, war. Wait a minute.
Momo.
He'll see you when he get back.
So y'all mean to tell me that the love is not strong enough for y'all to stay with the person that y'all fell in love with when y'all found out that they y'all like 10th, 11th, or 12th cousin? That's what you're telling me.
I'm saying I don't know.
Okay, Siobhan just said she don't know.
I don't know.
That means that you teeter-tottering. And Lynn said the same thing, so she teeter-tottering. Momo.
I don't know.
Nah, because I got to switch in my brain, and if something ain't right,
Good Lord Jesus. Okay. I understand. I understand. We're gonna move on. I understand. I understand where y'all at.
It's-
That's fine.
It's the word cousin.
So it's the cousin word is what's triggering you.
sweet home Alabama.
Oh my Jesus.
Mo, stop.
Child. So it's the word cousin that's triggering you. That's making
Because
you feel
because no matter how you spin it, no matter how many times they remove or whatever, that's still your cousin.
in your mind it's still your
Yeah,
cousin.
it's still your cousin. That's the
Okay.
part that has me.
For
Like,
me, once I see you as my cousin, it's over. That's what I see.
Okay,
I know.
play cousin.
That's all you getting from me.
well, play
I don't
cousin, you
even
know
care
it ain't your
if I
cousin.
see you as a cousin, I don't place you on no other category. I'm not gonna let you go slide over to, ooh, I think I like you. No. I already placed you in cousin. I don't see you as nothing else.
So you put them as your cousin. Okay. All right. I got you.
If I call you my bro, and that's the feeling I get every time I see you, you're not gonna go anywhere else. You're just gonna stay in that category. I'm sorry, but that's where you at.
Okay. All right. I got you, ma'am. All right. Cool. All right. Here go something else that I had a conversation with Elder Brown about, because I'm like, what? So the question was on the floor, and I'll give the scenario. Let's say, for instance, I had a guy friend and I'm having a party. And he's just a friend, cool, one of my bros. You don't know this bro, never met him, but he one of my boys. I introduce you to him. and you find him attractive, but I never told you about him, and I just say, hey, so and so, this is so and so. I introduce y'all just to be cordial, just to be like, hey, we kicking to keep it moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it my fault that he decides to pursue you and you jump in with it and find out that he full of shit?
No,
No.
no.
Are you still
because
with introduced? We
yeah,
start the
yeah.
conversation, start talking.
That's
Ain't
what
nobody tell you start talking to the friend without going through a whole facts. That's
Okay.
your
No.
fault. That's your
Yeah.
fault. If I was my ex, if I am introduced to a friend by another friend and I find them attractive, I'm gonna hit my friend like, hey, what's the 411 before
Right.
you dig? I'm not just gonna free willy nilly. Like, unless this is a stranger to everybody. If the person knows the person, why would you not ask your friend to give you the info beforehand?
Okay.
I mean, that's common sense to me. That might not be common. I don't know.
No, I mean, hey, it may not be common. You're absolutely right, because they were telling, when I was talking to Big Head and Neil Brown about this, they were saying that don't introduce your peoples to other people. And I'm
Why
like,
not?
because they feel like me being the person that was introduced will be the middleman. So if it do work out and y'all get into it, here go one person coming about me to the other person and then vice versa, and here I am in the middle. You know what I'm saying?
No, I ain't. Don't tell
I
me that.
mean, I've been in that predicament before, and I wholeheartedly, when y'all fight, blah 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 blah. Okay, look, y'all know y'all don't have to, like, yeah, I introduced y'all, but this is on you.
Yeah, that's not. And
Y'all
that
not
don't have
gonna
nothing
keep
to
coming to
do
me
with
every
me.
5 seconds.
Your friend
Okay.
this, your friend that. Okay, that's
And
your
I'm
man.
like,
That's your woman.
don't try to hold it against me either, because ain't nobody tell you to do that to begin with.
Okay.
Exactly.
I just
So
introduced you
Talking
because
to
it was
them.
a nice
I
thing to
said,
do. I'm
okay.
not gonna get punished because I got manners. I don't know.
yeah,
Okay. Because I was telling them, like, it wouldn't be my fault if they break up. It wouldn't be my fault if they work out. It wouldn't be my fault if they get into it. And it wouldn't be my fault if, like, shit pop off in general. So why am I being placed in the middle of this entire, shenanigans? Like, all I
hmm
did was just introduce, just to say, hey, this is my boy. Just like in general, if I'm coming to a party and I'm bringing a couple of my people, or if it's like separate. And Momo, you remember with my Sweet 16, I didn't like people to be separated. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted people to, mix and mingle in between one another, because we had our cliques. Yes, we did. And we had our little groups or whatever. And you had some people over here, some people over there, some people over there. And I'm like, nah, we're here for a common goal or a common thing. Let's all mix and mingle together. I don't like that. So if you hit it off with somebody, then you hit it off. If you don't, then you don't. But don't put me as the one telling you did it. I ain't do nothing. I ain't tell y'all to get with that person. I ain't tell y'all to, to be connected with them, or to, end it with them or be with them. I didn't say nothing. I'm just being a friendly neighbor. Like, hey y'all, this my friend. And keep it moving.
hmm
I don't remember. Yeah, they told me don't introduce my peoples to somebody else. Or they also said don't don't hook your friends up with somebody else. Oh, Mama, what's your thought?
I feel like it really just depends. Like, I'm not gonna hook my friends up with anything. I feel like men and women, when it comes to hooking up friends, majority of the time, I'm not gonna say for everybody, but men be like, yeah, she's Yeah, you need to get with that, blah. And then with females, okay, this guy is of substance. He has this, he has that together. This is how he acts. Like, I feel like women look at the overall, and some men just look at outward.
Okay. Yeah.
I agree with that.
I completely agree.
Okay.
Just from what I've noticed or what I've seen. So,
What y'all think?
I agree. Because, well, I don't like hooking nobody up with nobody. I don't put me in it. I don't care. That's your life. But men, when I talk to them, the first thing they will always say when they're talking to me is, "Well, that girl over there got it. You should go hit that. You got all these dudes all over her. You should go get that before you miss your shot." And then us, we go on fast. We gotta know your background. We gotta know how many baby mamas you got. Stuff like that.
All right. Ladies and ladies, got somebody that's popping up on here. Looking like he tired, but it's all right. Here we go. After Brown, y'all.
Hi, Ryan.
Brown.
Hi, Ryan.
What's popping?
Brown.
What's happening?
Okay. Elder Brown, I'm putting you on the spot
Okay.
because I'm telling them what you and Big Head was telling me and was saying that I shouldn't introduce nobody to nobody.
You shouldn't. Keep it out, stay out the way.
See what he's saying, y'all?
And I mean it. So what?
Okay, but why? Explain why. Because I still don't get it.
Who wants to be in the middle of anybody's anything?
I'm not gonna be in the middle because I introduced y'all. That was it. Me having manners. I'm not gonna be in the middle.
Look, I ain't even giving you that much. It's different for men and it's different for women. Women is kind of like, whatever. Men, we know, cause they gonna come to me and be like, hey, what's up with old girl? You on your own, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even about to sit here and try. Or if a girl asks me, hey, who's your homeboy? I don't know nobody.
All right.
Because at the end of the day, I don't want neither one of y'all coming at me talking about, hey, man, or hey, bro. I don't know nothing. That's between y'all.
But if they're full of crap, and
I'ma tell them. If this is like the worst person on the planet, I'm be like, hey, yo, you don't want to do that. They be like, why? I'm like, you want to find out? You know how your one of the relationships went last time? You know how bad it was? You want that? You get that. I'm saving you from heartbreak. If you want your heart broke, go by all means, go do what you want to do.
So you telling me I can't even just have a party and another
Well, that's
group of
different.
friends-
Like if it's a party, right? And you got a ton of people here, I'm not giving up no names though. I'm gonna say, hey everybody, thank y'all for coming. Mingle. If anybody's single, and if y'all decide to parlay and you know what I'm saying, all that, don't tell me because I don't want to know nothing.
So you just gonna make a big announcement right at the
Oh,
beginning?
for sure. So I know if it work out, y'all was in the right place. If it don't work out, you was in the right place because you learned something. There you go.
All
Do
right.
y'all hear this?
I get it though, because I don't want no parts of it.
I don't want to be on the left. I don't want to be on the right. I don't want to be
on
in
the
nothing.
front, the back.
But
I
you're
don't
not-
want to be nowhere.
Y'all
But
gonna be
you're
over
not
there
having
arguing
no-
about
nothing.
I want to be so far removed from it that I ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
But that don't.
If y'all work out, y'all worked out. Y'all didn't work out, well, y'all didn't work out.
Y'all didn't work out. It just wasn't meant to be. It ain't got nothing to do with
Right.
me.
But
So
I
then
know
that's
how
what
some
I'm saying.
but I know
So,
how some people are. Like if
but
you
so
know
what?
certain people, huh?
I, go ahead, right? Because I'm still not understanding. Go ahead. I'm
Like if it's certain like certain people, I'll use women for example. Sorry, ladies.
okay.
Some women are a little more emotionally open, and sometimes they be a little like desperate. We ain't gonna never tell y'all that. We just gonna be like, yo, you doing too much. That's the way of saying it. Without saying you sounding real thirsty. But even on the guys, I'm like, hey, bro, you sounding real, like something wrong with you. Yet at the same time, um, you just know because you could tell who good and who ain't. You know which friends work with which friends and which don't. That's why I be telling people, look, I don't be around nobody because if they get to looking at me too long, it's their fault. I didn't tell you to look at me. That's why I told you Monday that one time. Don't you bring nobody around me. And I told you this all as long as I've known you. Don't bring nobody around me. Cause they're gonna be like, hey, who that? You better tell them. I already gave you to tell them no.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So that's why I said so in a way you are so far removed, like you still got your good friendships because sometimes people, man, will blame you for stuff that don't work out that ain't got nothing to do with you.
Ain't got
So
nothing to do.
so that's why you stay out of it in every way. Cause they could come to you and be like, hey, you remember that one dude, at your party, he had the red shirt on with the hat on. Oh yeah. Me and him, girl. Nope. Let me cut you short. I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to know what happened.
I don't want to know nothing. I don't want to know if y'all talking. I don't want to know if you gave it up. I don't want to know nothing. I want to be so far removed from the whole situation that I ain't got nothing to do with it in every way.
Okay, so but even if they do hit it off and it works out, that's fine. But of course, just don't include you in it, which is
It ain't my business because that's
I can
between you.
understand that part.
Yeah, that's between you, them, and God.
Yeah, I can understand that part. But I'm
Hmm.
saying like I can't like introduce like as just being, cordial, as being friendly, like, hey, this so and so, y'all, hey, y'all, this so and so.
No, you got to do it like in a way where you so dismissive of with it though. You be like, hey, this my homie B, this my homie you know what I'm saying, Shirley, whatever her name is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it.
So
But
that's
then
just
you
what
gotta but you gotta keep yourself out of it. But it's like when you see him talking and you see the look, walk away.
Oh yeah, that part I get.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm
no,
saying?
they ain't got
When
nothing
you
to do
see
with
that
me.
look, and it don't be from one. It be from like both of them, or it be the body language. When you see body language from a distance, I'll see y'all later. I mean, think about it. Think about that movie, The Photograph. Same way.
that was a good movie. Oh,
See, so think about it in that sense, where it's like they wasn't trying to get their friends together, but they just happened to get together because they was so focused on each other that they was so far removed from it, they ain't had nothing to do with it at all.
yeah.
It's just like, hey, this is my homie, we work together. Hey, this is my homegirl, we work together. And then, obviously they gonna veer off and go do their own thing. But if they
Hmm.
decide to talk and then you wind up an hour later, hey, where they at? And then he come tell you the next day, hey, you remember Shorty? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got it. Don't even tell me. I don't even want to know. But I've been like that. I've been like that a lot though. Where it's like my boy. Sometimes like my boys coming up, they been want to tell me these stories, and I'm like, I don't want to hear that. Please don't.
What if they need an outlet to like vent? They can't come to vent to you, is what
It
you're
depends
saying.
on what you. It depends on what you talking to me about. Like I don't want to hear nothing about. you know what I'm saying, none of your extracurricular activities because they will go off and do that. And I'd be like, I had to stop you short. Hey, champ, I don't want to hear that. Like, because once you get given all this detail, I don't want to look at you no more. Like, I don't want to be your, I can't, low key don't want to be your friend because you're doing too much.
Siobhan, are you agreeing with this? Because I
I don't know about the not being your friend part,
Well, not literally not being your
but
friend, but I just don't want to hear
no,
that.
I get his point of, especially if you know both parties, stay out of it. Like, I don't want to be not wanting to be the middle person, not wanting to be responsible for it, because I'm gonna step back when I'm gonna introduce. I can be at a party, introduce and be like, if y'all didn't know each other, oh hey, Ryan is Cheyenne, Cheyenne is Ryan, and go and do whatever it is I was doing. Y'all gonna say hello and keep walking. Y'all gonna hit it off. Either way, Siobhan was on the other side of the room. I don't know.
and that's fine. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what is the issue with doing that? Like,
I guess in that sense, it's still kind of almost like you in it.
but how? Because there's no objective.
I know, but they have an objective, and they gonna always remember it was you that introduced them.
But I didn't tell you to talk to them. I didn't tell
Right.
you.
But
I just
but that's just how some people's brains work. They gonna be like, man, I shouldn't. Like, I'm glad I came to the party, but I mean, you kind of did introduce me. I didn't. I just said, hey, this is Joe Blow, and you know what I'm saying, whatever. What you did on your own at the end
Right.
is on
I
you.
can introduce
But
you to a lamppost. If you gonna go lick it, that's on you.
I mean, look. But that's the facts though. And but the thing is most people don't want to be accountable for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say stay out of it, because then your accountability is not there.
No, I get what you're saying.
You know? And that's
so you're saying just to completely just do not even engage or do not even try to,
if it's a party,
like
hey,
if it's
everybody, we all here, we kicking it, let's have fun, let's enjoy ourselves.
I guess you could say to the point too, though. Your point, saying, because like, yeah, it's just I got manners and I'm gonna introduce so and so.
right.
But also on the flip side of that, I could walk up to somebody, hey, what's your name? So what's your name?
Yeah, because we all in here. I'ma say, look, hey, and sometimes some people ain't good at introductions, like myself. I suck at it. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all in a heartbeat. Look, I don't do all the introducing. Look, y'all, we all
just
here.
doing this. People like,
Look, y'all go in there and y'all kick it. Everybody, hey, dudes, don't be standing on the wall. Ladies, don't be on the couch. Okay, everybody, we all here together. Let's intermingle. We got some party. We got some music. We got some this. We got that. You know what I'm saying? Just kick it.
that's how I go.
And that's all I said was just kick it. If any, and I don't put the if any disclaimer. If anything happens outside of here, between anybody in here, keep it at your mama house. I don't want to hear that.
Oh my good Lord. Okay, I'm gonna say this
because people do it.
I'll use me as an example on what happened. Teenage life. So when I met Stupid Monkey, right?
Can we use his name?
No.
And not call him that no more? He got a name too.
He does, but I'm not going to put him out on.
But see, we can call everybody code names on here. We don't just.
I don't want to code name nobody. No. Can we call him? Can we give him a different name then?
I just can't think of one right now.
You can. Yes, you can.
For now, we're just going to call him Stupid Monkey. Which, I mean, he kind of not as stupid as he used to be, but he's still stupid. But anywho, stupid.
So he monkey.
But we just can't call him Monkey.
I can't just call him Monkey. That's kind of racist. So we just gonna say Stupid Monkey. So When I met him, Sweet 16, it was at a Sweet 16 party. One
Can
of
we just say this
friend.
guy?
Okay, when I met this guy,
Perfect.
there you go, at a Sweet 16 party, and it was a friend of mine's Sweet 16 party from school. Um, he came up to me first of all. He did what he did, dance whatever, and he came up to me later and he asked me, um, my name and um, how do I know the birthday person? And I said, oh, that's my friend from school. Like, how do you know her? I don't really know her, but I know the DJ. I was invited by the DJ, and she said it was okay. And I'm like, okay. We exchanged numbers from there. There is no way that I'm going to say the DJ is responsible for me and him ending, or the Sweet 16 party, the birthday girl, it's her fault that we ended. I'm
What?
never gonna say that. That's our issue. It has nothing to do with them.
But no, what he
But
was
what? But
saying
what
is
I? But
that's what you
but
think.
but
Go.
what I'm saying. Think about it. That guy, right? He was there off of a whim. He wasn't there because he was really truly invited. He was just told about the party and came. He ain't have to show up, but he
Okay.
showed up. You were invited because you knew the birthday girl.
Okay.
So you got to think about it. And that when you really look at the whole story, was he invited for real? Nah. DJ just told him, "Hey man, I gotta go to this party." And he was like, probably, "Hey, if you want to come, just slide through. You be my person, right?" That ain't really an invite. That's like, if you come, cool. If you don't, I ain't really worried about it. Invite is like, you better be there. That's an invite. You were invited by the birthday girl. He came up to you on his own. He ain't know nobody. He like, "Hey, what's your name?" "Cheyenne." "Okay." "Hey, you know what I'm saying? Here my info. Take me down. Let's chop it up later." It ain't nobody's fault but y'all's.
That's what is getting to me. Cause
It's y'all fault.
okay,
But the
so
only thing
if he was invited by the birthday girl,
oh, it's her fault
why is it her fault?
because she invited him,
That don't make sense.
and you were invited by her as well. Because think
She
about
out
it.
minding her business though,
But
and
but think
that
about
ain't
it.
got nothing to do
What
with her though.
what if one of y'all is petty and y'all go to said person and say, "Hey, you know what's the name? Yeah, girl, tell me why yada 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 yada." You know what? It's your fault. People are petty like that in real life. People will not take responsibility for certain things that happen in their life, especially in breakup terms.
I feel like that is straight up unstable creature mentality.
It sounds retarded, but it is. And I'm sorry for using that word, but I'm using it today. So anybody that may be, impaired in any way, forgive me because I don't want none of y'all coming after me. I don't want you to look for me, find me, nothing. You ain't gonna find me anyway. Look,
You be hiding, you be incognito.
I'm incognito, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anybody, don't take it. Don't charge it to my head and not my heart, okay? God bless you.
I,
It's y'all fault. It's the
I
person's
just
fault.
I just can't I can't grasp that
Monday,
because
have you ever introduced any two people and it ain't work out and then they came to you?
I'm well.
Monday, it's yes or no. I don't want to hear no well. This ain't
I gotta
church.
go. I gotta go down my past because I'm elderly. I
That's
gotta go through my mentality and figure it out. Because I don't think I've never had a issue where I had well, okay, I never had an issue where I introduced people
uh
and they decided maybe later on after the fact to get
uh
together,
right.
but Yeah, I've never had that, but
Eh,
still, my mind is not really grasping on the fact that people are that petty, which
People are
sadly
that
is
petty,
what
man.
you said. Yeah,
And
they
even
No,
if
he
are.
right though.
and even if they don't say it out loud, they can indirectly blame you and then treat you different just because.
They're like, I
But
didn't
but
create
but
this food.
but but you got to think certain people are emotionally
They're
stable,
not emotionally intelligent.
pretty much, and they are already messed up anyway.
That's like me saying, "Oh, I can give you a referral to this job, and then if you don't get it, it's my fault that you
Some
didn't get it."
people, nah, because if you ain't qualified, you ain't qualified.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
you,
You may not be
but
qualified for this person.
there you
But the
go.
person part, you don't know. They ain't got no resume. You just know one or the other. If you know somebody got a
But
bad track record when it
but
comes
if
to
I know the person, both people, then I know their resume pretty much.
to a degree, if you know them that deep. If you don't know them that like that well in all of that,
Hmm.
you kind of scot free a little bit. But if you've known them for years and you like, hey yo, because there's some people that can be like, hey man, I know somebody that might be good for you, right? You really setting yourself up for failure at that point. I would never ever in my life do that. I ain't gonna be like, hey man, I got somebody that might be cool, right?
Oh
I'm
no,
not
I
doing
won't
it.
do that.
Unless you ask me, hey man, you know somebody, I'm gonna tell you no. Even if I do know somebody. I'm be like, nah, bro, I don't know nobody. And they gonna be like, you gonna probably ask me why. Why I say that? Because I ain't about to get caught up. Because if you come to me, I'm snuffing you.
Okay, so let's say, for instance, they meet on their own merit,
Oh,
right?
and I know nothing about it.
Right. You don't know anything until later when
I've had
they.
that happen.
Okay, so is that your fault?
Oh, ain't got nothing to do with me.
So then later on, they be like, "Yeah, so we've been talking for like about 6 months now. So what you think about him? Like, I mean, you know him more than I do, or you know her more than I do. What you think about him?
I
Can
don't
you
think
tell me
nothing.
some
I don't
things?"
think nothing about them. It ain't my business.
So you're
All right.
saying it's
You ain't
so
you ain't about you can't fish out information from me just so you can validate your own feelings. What do
so
you like? Do you like them? Are you talking to him still? Shut up and leave me alone.
so you're saying
Don't ask me no dumb question like that. Talking about some. What do you think about them? They cool. Or if a
okay.
man come to me, hey man, what you think about Shorty? See, all right. I'm a lowball you so bad to the point where they gotta just go on their own. Hey, anything wrong with them? Not that I know of.
So you're saying so after the fact that they come to you,
Hmm.
then it's okay, pretty much.
If I don't know nothing about it, that's like saying if I didn't know you right and I didn't know B, but
Hmm.
actually I'm sorry. Let me say I know both of y'all right,
Hmm.
but I don't know that y'all kicking it
Hmm.
until like one day we meet up and be like, hey man, how you know yada yada yada. Oh, for real. And then you pull me to the side. So hey, what you think about? I don't
You
think nothing. I don't
Nah,
care.
but why you
no, no,
answering me?
no.
But why you asking me 6 months later though?
Right? Don't
When we
ask me
been
nothing.
talking.
Y'all
But how?
already
But here's the thing, Shavon. Just like what he just said, he didn't know that we were talking. So
yeah.
why
But
So
can't I
no,
know? Why
but
can't
no,
I?
but it's the thing, and you asking me. You don't have to ask me 6 months later. It'd be different. Like if you said, "Oh, hey, 2 weeks go down, a month go down. Hey, I'm talking to this guy, yada yada yada." Right? You ain't gonna give me a full blown description of everything. You might to a degree,
Hmm.
right? And then
Hmm.
and then I may talk to him, and he be like, "Hey, man, I've been talking to this little, this little joint, yada yada, whatever, whatever." Right? I'll be like, "Okay, cool." And it's only on me if I say what they look like or who are they? Tell me about them, right?
Hmm.
I'm not fishing for no info. I don't want to know. I'm like, that's what's up, man. Keep doing your thing. But down the
but
line,
no.
6 months down the line, if I meet you and y'all in the room together, I'm like, oh, y'all rocking together. That's what's up. And then I'm gonna
Yeah,
walk out the room.
And leave it alone, because why are you asking me questions when you've been with this person for 6 months? You should know by now.
Oh no, look, if you asking me that the wonderful questions like what you think about them, I don't think nothing about them because I don't think about them.
Okay.
You gotta live with them. I don't.
Look,
Okay.
look. If y'all play hanky panky, I ain't the one putting the strap on each one of y'all. I'm sorry.
Okay. I know this is probably like a validated question or a validation question, but my question is it well, I know I'm gonna
You
get
already
this
asked
answer.
your own question. You already gonna ask your
I
own question.
already
What's up?
know what the answer is gonna be, but I want in-depth conversation about it.
Okay.
Let's use me. I introduced y'all to Big Head.
Okay.
Is it a requirement for me to or for me to hear what your thoughts are as it pertains to him?
No.
So let's reverse it. If y'all introduce me to y'all significant others,
Mm-hmm.
would y'all come to me later on like, yeah, so what you think about it?
No.
Is that goes with family too?
For sure ain't. Look,
No. They're not
them,
in my relationship. I am.
right. I said yeah to you,
Now,
or you said yeah to each other.
if
Like,
you
ain't nothing to do
say
with
if
that.
you see something, if I'm asking you if you saw something that might hurt me, that's a little different. But as
That's
far as
different.
me, yeah, but introducing him and then you be like, I don't like him. I don't know about that. I'll keep that to yourself.
Yeah, like some people, if you got your own little preconceived notions or whatever, 9 times out of 10, that's what happens anyway. Most people keep what they gonna keep to themselves until it's over.
So don't say
Mhm.
anything.
What
Right.
can you say unless you know in your best interest they gonna hear what you gotta say? Because if they a crash out and you bring something to them and they don't want to hear it because they're a crash out, then it's kind of like you did what you could, but you said, you know what, I'm gonna stay out of it. But if you know they're not that type of person and you don't come to them, and it can just be say, hey man, just look at this, just think about this, think about that, right? They ain't saying like you have some sort of influence, right?
Mhm.
But sometimes we as people can get so caught up in the picture of it all and not really step back and not look at it all the way, right? So
Mhm.
if you in that type of space where you can do something like that to help, I would say do it, right? But you have to do it in a way in which they can receive it. But if you just going off here just saying some hey yada yada yada, they gonna choke you. So I would just say when it comes to like having an opinion about anything that ain't got nothing to do that doesn't have much to do with you at all, just keep it.
Hmm.
And if it's anybody else, if they come asking you for it, that's different because you asking me, right? And it's like I can give you two truths, the one you want to hear and the one you don't. So it's like which one you want? The one you don't want to hear or the one you want to hear? Because I can either curve you know what I'm saying, your feelings, or I could just shoot you down in the bucket and give you the false, the real truth. But at the same time, don't take everything I'm saying as the end all be all. You got to
I
make
would
the decision at the end of the
I would
day.
say too, my downfall is I don't even want to say it's a downfall. I care a lot
Sure.
about how people maneuver because I don't want them to deal with issues or
Sure.
unstable creatures. And when I see it happening
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard for me to just sit and it's still hard because I'm still doing it now. Hell. It's hard for me to just sit there and just watch you just crumble
Yeah.
and especially when there is a scripture which I can't haven't looked it up verbatim, but
Right.
about having those people connected with you
Hmm.
in order to walk with you and to guide you and to uplift you and to not necessarily carry your weight but
Sure.
push you to be better. Why would I have to sit back and watch you
Sure.
crumble and
I
deal
mean,
with
Mhm.
these unstable creatures?
yeah. I
That's
mean, it's
Sometimes
like,
you have
stressful.
to.
well, I mean, you don't have to, right? It's kind of one of those things where it's like iron sharpens iron, right? So if I'm well aware enough to know, like, it's certain things in which certain relationships can drain you, right? And you see
Hmm.
it, you looking at it, and it's just putting you in the blender, and you like, man, I'm looking at this person, and you don't even look the same. You ain't talking the same. I ain't. I mean, I'll talk about that later. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's like one of those things you got to sit there and think about, where it's like, man, because it could be life or death in certain situations. It can be that extreme, or it could just be, you know, you just not for that person,
Yeah.
and you can see it, but it's almost like you want them to learn, but it's like you don't want them to learn to the point where they, you know what I'm saying, they lost and now they got to find themselves again. So you have ways in which you can help or be of assistance to them in some way. Yet you have to know how to do it with each person. So I know I can't just come to anybody and just be like, hey man, so what you think about yada yada yada? And I'm be like, look, just give it to me and I'll dissect it how I need to, right?
Mhm.
Because I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna take what I need because because sometimes it's almost confirmation for you to hear it.
Hmm.
Because if I see something and it's like I'm seeing it and I'm seeing it, but you need confirmation, you could be the person that helped me in that confirmation, right? Because God gonna use anybody. So if He using you in those spaces to say, you know what, I see this, right? And I didn't heard this saying 2, 3 times already. But it's like you just like, it's something that's kind of like, okay, give me that one thing. And you get it, then you know how to move. But it's all based on because you asking for it to help you. And then like I'm just blatantly coming to you for nothing. I'm coming to you because it's like, yo, I'm in this space and I'm trying to figure it out. Yet, if I've introduced you to this person and y'all seen them and y'all kind of like, you know what I'm saying, you get a feel. Look, women's intuition is everything, right? Sometimes,
Hmm.
and if you got the intuition enough to see and hear and you just watching from afar, but don't say nothing at all. Yet, if they come to you and you still don't say nothing, I'm not gonna blame you. But it's like, dang man, you kind of told me a little bit. I wouldn't have got mad. It's just telling me. Because then you have understanding, you have a confirmation there that you may need that could have saved you 6 months, could have saved you a year.
But then it also kind of is like knowing the person that you're bringing that information to.
But that's what I'm
Cause
saying. Like, you know who to go to. You ain't gonna
yeah.
go to just any Joe Blow. You know somebody who got sound advice and has sound merit.
Well, no, no, no. What I mean by that is, I'll give you. Here's me using me as an example.
Hmm.
If y'all would have told me, which y'all didn't even know I was talking stupid monkey, but but yeah, y'all did a little bit. But
I
if
don't
y'all
remember
would
nothing.
have told me in
Hmm.
the like earlier on,
Hmm.
like if y'all knew that we were talking or whatever earlier on, and y'all was saying like, Shran, this ain't the move for you. You know, I don't know. Well, I don't
Well,
think I would.
well, I
I
mean,
don't
it's
think
one of
I
those.
would be receptive. I think I would be more.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's in a space and when, not necessarily saying that I'm gonna just come to you because I see something. It could be you come to me because you feel something and you just need that confirmation from somebody else who know you well enough to
Mhm.
say, hey, okay, you want my advice on something? Okay, I can give you this. But at the end of the day, it's your decision on what you do. But
Mhm.
I noticed this and I noticed this and yada yada yada, whatever it is, right? and you see it, yet just because okay, your heart is in it, right? Or you
Mm-hmm.
say your heart is in it, but you ain't in it. Like you want to leave more than you want to stay because you have those moments, right, where you want to go, and it may happen more and more as time goes on because relationships only gonna do one or two things. Either it's gonna build you or it's gonna break you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not open to someone saying, "Look, this is breaking you," then you kind of already stuck in that mind frame
Mm-hmm.
because you don't want to let go.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you gotta know when to let go. And if you ain't willing to let go, it's on you. It ain't on me because they
Right.
gonna
You
drain
gotta,
more and
you
more out of
gotta,
you.
yeah, you gotta understand that some people, sometimes you can watch somebody that you care about go through something. You can't learn it for them.
Yeah, you got to go through it
They gotta learn it for themselves. So you sometimes you do have to sit back and
and just watch.
watch them to go through it because they gotta learn. They can't learn if you holding their hand. That's
Yeah,
like teaching the baby how to walk. Eventually, that baby gotta walk without you holding your hand,
That's
without you
understandable,
holding
but
them.
I'm not saying like pacify them in terms of like keeping them whole, but for me not to speak up on bull.
well, that's if you seeing it right.
But that's if you're seeing it, yeah.
If I'm around it, like if I was talking to you, if you was talking to us every day about everything, so now we in your relationship versus where it's like I'm able to watch it from a distance, right? Because obviously you're gonna post a picture, you gonna post this, you might do this, you might do that, right? And
Mm-hmm.
some of it be indirect, and some of it be direct, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes it just be your emotions, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, if you're emotional, you gonna speak off your emotions versus your logic or your you know what I'm saying. So it's like okay, sit back, and I can just say okay, sit back, think about everything from then to now. Do you have more good or more bad? Do you feel like you losing yourself? Do you feel like you're growing in this space? You have to
Mm-hmm.
ask those simple, basic questions because it's just that simple. If your relationship ain't helping you grow or helping you get better or doing those things in which it can provide you with the forward progress, then maybe you should reevaluate it, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's on you to do in your own time.
Yeah.
I can just tell you what I see. I can't tell you what to do.
And that's
I
what I
agree.
mean by that's what I mean by you can't learn it for them. You can't take the test for them. You can't walk them through it. Sometimes they have to do it. Then you can give them the study guide, but they gotta study.
Yeah. And then too, it depends on how much of a person is willing to share. Because some people
Mm-hmm.
ain't sharing at all. Some look, I mean, y'all seen it even in the midst of us, right? Like where certain joints it take you away, or it, you know what I'm saying? It does what it can do whatever it does to you, right? But if you don't, it's kind of like it hurts you more to not say something.
Mm-hmm.
But
Hmm.
it's kind of like what are
It's
you
like
saying?
how I'll say this right, not to cut you off, but it reminds me of how God is with us.
Sure.
He can tell you straight up, this is what it is. This is the
Yeah.
right way. This is the wrong way.
That's
And what's that girl on Instagram? She'll go, I'm gonna see for myself.
Oh, Ariel.
Yes. And she
Ariel,
says, I'm gonna
Ariel.
see for myself.
hmm
And God is just probably looking
You ain't gotta see for yourself.
like you really about to
But
do
he but
this?
he sitting here, he literally like face palming like this, dummy. Okay,
Like
go ahead.
yes. So I feel like that's how it is. Like I'm like, oh my God, like this is
I, I mean, I
you
feel like it's one of those things where it's like having a vision, right?
know.
God said, write the vision and make it plain, right?
Hmm.
That's what it said. And obviously, it also says God don't work in anything that bring confusion.
Yeah.
So if you in a relationship or anything that brings confusion to you, that means it's gonna be dysfunctional. That means you
Hmm.
might argue. That means you might act out in a certain way. You may treat other people a certain way. You might be real defensive, things like that.
Hmm.
Versus where If you're in a functional relationship, you're gonna be happy. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're gonna have your normal whatever's here and there, but if you can talk to a person and not argue with them in the moments where y'all have disagreements, you gonna grow. But if you
Hmm.
arguing and y'all going tit for tat just to see who wrong or say who right, but you go to sleep and now you done let the devil get to you because you went to sleep and you was angry. Who gonna lose?
And
Both
the
of y'all.
same thing about operating in your
Yeah,
flesh. Well,
but that's
if you are
that's that.
constantly allowing yourself to be just to operating within you and focusing on you and how you want things to be and how you want
Hmm.
things to do, and where is God in it? Why isn't God either the head or the center of it? And it's not going to prosper. It's not going to grow. It's not going to develop. It's not going to be
Hmm.
nurtured well. So I,
Hmm.
I get that for sure.
Hmm.
But God dang it, it's hard.
But the thing is most of the time, man, look, it's like it's a difference in somebody being interested in you and wanting it with you, right?
Yeah.
Just because I'm interested don't mean I want you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing when it comes to God.
Yeah.
I can be interested in it, but that don't mean I want it.
Yeah.
And if I
Yeah.
want it, I'm gonna pursue it with everything I have.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with with any relationship. If you're gonna pursue it fully, but also know that when you get to that point where you're saying, okay, this is helping me because you see the moments of where things are leaving your life, or you shedding this, or you shedding that, or you conquered this, or you conquered that, you know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you unhappy and you miserable, you can't blame God all the time. Sometimes you gotta look in that mirror and blame yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because usually that's what it be most of the time. It be ourselves. We be in our own way of us trying to be joyous. When God gave you joy, but we trying to be happy and it's like, oh, you make me happy. No, you either gonna add to it or you ain't. And if you ain't add to the happiness, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
You ain't if you ain't a part of, like, I feel like if you are not a part, like if there's no fruits of the spirits in your relationship, what you have it for? I
Mm.
mean, it's just that simple, right? And it's not saying you gonna always, like, you ain't gonna be the one that have all of them, right? You may have three of them, and they got the other three. They still there. It's just they operate in their own time when they need to be. Yet,
You're right.
you know, that's any relationship. If God ain't in anything, and you remove him or think you have him in it, when you think you got him in it, that's when you playing God.
Mm-hmm.
And when he in it, you gonna listen.
Glory G. You know what? I totally forgot my tambourine again. And
You
I
and this
swear,
tambourine, it's supposed to be there before you hit
I
live.
promise I was look, I'm gonna get it one of these days. That's all right.
But nah,
It's
man,
Grim
that's
Chronicles. But no, right. Well, look, I got more. What we'll discuss that.
offline.
Yeah.
But
Awesome.
I'll put it to you like this: if you're in a space where you want more, are you happy with what you have? Right before you even ask for more, are you satisfied with what you have right now? And you can say no. You can say yeah. Whatever it is, it's on you to say, okay, how can we do this together, right? Because you may have some resistance and you may not. But if you have
Mhm.
a sense of where it's open to say, okay, let's try this, and y'all both have to try it 100%. Because most people be like, oh man, relationships is 50-50, or is this or 70-30, 80-20. It ain't none of that. You know what it is? A choice. Okay. So don't put a percentage on your abilities to do something.
Yeah.
You may just look, whatever you got is what you got. I ain't gotta put a number on it. Look, this is what I got today. And if I see you could be lacking on something, I can just help pick up the slack in some area. Even if I don't want to do it, you just do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you ain't gotta think about it. Cause you get frustrated about stuff that you want somebody else to do. You just do it. Maybe that's the reason why it ain't getting done.
And look where it is now.
But I
I'm be
mean,
good. I'm be good. I'm be good.
but it's one of those things where it's like relationships got two eyes in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's got one O. You and them is the I.
Yeah,
Focus on the O, man.
yeah,
It's that
yeah.
simple. If you ain't willing to focus on the O, you gonna always be focused on I or me. Ain't sometimes it ain't about you. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
about them. Sometimes it's about, in reverse and vice versa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's what it is.
Okay.
But it ain't all about that. It's like where we at, what do we want, how we gonna get there. You sit there, write the vision together, make it plain, do your thing, I'ma do mine, and whatever's next, we gotta be in prayer on that. We gotta be in it. Look, where two or three are gathered, he's in the
Yeah.
midst, right? And if
Yeah.
he ain't in the midst, guess what you are? You just outside and it feel like a spring day with fog in the air.
Lord Elder Brown. You right though. But we're gonna shut it down. But I Ryan, look, I'm gonna talk to you after this. But Elder Brown.
Welcome back.
But secondly too, Elder Brown, also I want you to shout out your business.
Shout out my business.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, uh well, okay. To anybody that's watching, um my business is I'm a massage therapist. I don't really personal train as much anymore, but mainly I do massage therapy and body work. So anybody who may need some work, I do house calls. That's kind of how I work. I roll. I travel. If you got any parties, if you have any group things that you want somebody to come do, if you need more than one therapist, I got people I can call up and bring to. I mean, it's that simple. Look, if you feeling, beat down and broke down because you work a job all day and you a little raggedy, you just need somebody just going and just make you feel unraggedy, holla at me. If you if your it wouldn't make a difference. Look, if you tired and if you tired to just get in the bathtub and just laying in there because it ain't working no more, just call me. If you tired of rubbing Ben Gay on your knees and your shoulders, just holler at me. if
Elder
if you if you tired of taking a drink just because you want to ease the pressure, I got some pressure right here. Holler at me.
Brown's gifted hands. Amen.
You know what I'm saying? Gonna bless you. There you go.
Oh my God. Ryan.
What's up? And if y'all want to find me on social media, it's because I changed the name, so it's not Mindful Touch anymore.
Okay.
It's called Rhythm dot Massage. So
Amen.
rhythm massage, y'all. So if you out of
Okay.
rhythm and you want to be in rhythm, come on, holler at me.
Oh, that's glory. That's dang it.
Yep.
All right, y'all.
All
Thank
right, man.
you.
No
Thank you,
problem.
Elder Brown. Stay by the phone. I'll call you in a little bit. Stay by the
Okay.
phone and I'll call you a little bit too. But
Okay.
to close this out, I want to thank y'all all for listening, tuning in. If you catch us on the replay, greatly appreciate y'all listening this far. please be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, all under Speak It Sis. And if you want to be a guest, have a topic idea, have a question, want to just say some stuff, whatever, I don't care. Please send an email. Everything is down below, right at this ticker where it says speakitsis@gmail.com. I'll be lucky to have you, okay? So, any final words, y'all, before we kick this off and say goodbye for now?
Y'all have a happy Easter. Eat a lot of good food.
Yes. I'm still in mourning like Mary and Martha, but yes.
You only got a few more hours.
Ooh, he is almost here. But I want to thank Ryan. Don't laugh at me. I want to thank y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in again. Yes, once again, happy Resurrection Day. May the Lord be with you and keep you like this the whole benediction. Peace out,
May the
y'all.
Lord watch between me and me while we are absent.
There you go.
All right.
Hallelujah.
I ain't finished it. I'm sorry. Amen.
Bye, everybody. I'll talk to y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.